So I'm using scuba fabric for the making of this turban hat. The head circumference that I'm using is 23 inches and the width of the material is 20 inches. I'm using 20 inches to accommodate the pleats at the front. So first I fold on once by about half an inch and I fold again. You do a straight stitch straight across to the end. I am using the stretchiest side of the fabric to mark off the head circumference. So now when I'm finished stitching across, I now make the first pleat, and I'll make the first pleat now to cover that seam because I don't want this stitch to show, so I'm covering up with the pleat. So I'm going to stitch now below that pleat. I'm making the second pleat now to cover now the seam again. So covering the seam, covering that stitch. We don't want the stitch to show. So I'm going to make a stitch at the bottom of that pleat to hold it in place. I'm just removing the pins now. So I'm folding it in two now. I'm going to show you now how I'm going to curve it like a regular turban. Just checking the head circumference here. So now I'm coming in by about 2 inches. That's the top of the hat up there. I'm coming in here by about 2 inches to make my curve. You can go in as much as 4 inches. I'm just using 2 inches. So I'm coming in by 2 inches and then I'm gonna curve it. Just clipping away the excess. So when I'm finished putting on the design, then I'll be stitching around like this. And then I'll be making my zigzag stitches to make it neat. So I'm going to put this aside, and the next step then would be the design. Okay, so these pieces of fabric here, I've put the interfacing on them. I've ironed the interfacing on to make it firm. The width is 8 inches on one and 7 inches on the other, and the length of it is 24.5 inches. So I'm just folding it in two and I'm just going to pin it. Then I'm going to be stitching lengthwise. So on one part I'm going to use this metallic fabric here, mesh gold metallic fabric. I'm doing the same thing. I'm just spinning it down, and then I'm going to be stitching it on the long side. This gold metallic fabric is just to add to the design, really. So I'm just clipping off some excess bit off. So now I'll be flipping it over on the right side. So now it's done. Now the smaller piece I put on top. That's the reason why I had used 7 inches and 8 inches, so that one could be broader than the other. So the smaller one is on top. So I'm just gonna tack it down now. I'm gonna stitch the edge, 2 edges, stitch them up. So I'm going to attach now this design that I've just made to the body of the turban. I'm attaching it in such a way that the seam on the turban is hidden. So I'm putting this bit over on top of that seam. Then I'll be just tacking it down now onto the body of the turban. Stitch the 2 ends, keep it in place. So I'm just going to fold it in two, fold it in half, and then I'm going to be stitching now, stitching it around to close it off and to complete the turban. So I've stitched it around and I've done the zigzag stitch around it to make it neat. Now I'm going to do running stitches now along there. So I'm running the stitches now along here to get some gathers, and I'm going to be stopping before I reach to the design part of the turban. Note I'm making these stitches on the wrong side, so pull the thread tight and arrange the gathers now how you want them. So make a knot at each end. So I'm gonna do a number of stitches now, back and forth, until it's tight. Okay, let's see how the gathers look. Beautiful. So the turban is now complete. At this point you can add now any type of embellishment you want on it. You can leave it like this because it can be worn this way, or you can add whatever you want to anything you want to put on in terms of embellishment. You can add it now. So I'm going to just pin this onto the hat. I'm not going to stitch it down, I'm just going to pin it on to see the effect. If you have watched until now, thank you. Please give me the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. And please comment below. Thanks for watching. Bye.